Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Stencil Saturday video. This week we are working with one of my new stencils, the dot and dash border stencil. And so, because it would take way long if I did an entire border, we're just going to keep in mind, I want you to keep in mind that this is one unit of the border marked, right? So if you had a whole border, you would mark this in succession across the border. But I find it's going to be easier for me to demonstrate different things you can put onto this stencil by doing just one unit. And then, they would absolutely be meeting up, with the next one would be exactly the same. So I hope you don't mind, but we're going to see a lot of these two new stencils because I want to kind of demonstrate how the different ways that they can be used. So for this first one with the border, I kind of want to show how you can use these different dots and points that are within the stencil to kind of create something. So without it getting too crazy busy, what we're going to do this time is I am going to go ahead and stitch these two lines to start with. Okay, so I'm just going to use a straight roller just so that there's one place that's kind of nice and open. So I'll go ahead and just stitch these. Down the other side. Obviously, that would be like, the seam line of your border. I'm going to stitch this one. Okay, so now that we have that main part done, I'm going to go ahead and just travel over here. And we're going to start right here at this point. And what we're going to do is we're going to stitch up to this point and then to the opposite side of this triangle. This point, then I'm going to stitch to the top corner of this kind of triangle right here. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit the next point. I get to there. Just stitch back to the original starting point. Then we're going to do that again. We're going to go to the next dot. Right to there. And then again to the opposite side. And we're going to do it one last time, and we're going to hit this last dot in there. And then back to the beginning. Okay, so now I do want to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to kind of travel along here. But we also want to do the center thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as I go instead of traveling and then coming all the way back over here. So this time what we want to do is start, I'm right at the point where this line comes down and where the, the seam of the border would be. So this time we're going to do the same thing, but in the opposite direction. So we're going to stitch over and do these points. I want to make sure I'm at this, I have this part, and I want to go to this one because this is the center. So I'm going to stitch to, I don't want to do the first point because I think it's a little too close. We're going to go to this first one right here, second one actually. Stitch to there, and then to the opposite side of this kind of triangle. Now we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go now to this next dot. And again. Back up to the top. And since we're at the top here, oh, got a little off. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into this side. I'm going to do the same thing. Go to this first one. Out to the outer edge. Shift up to the next one. Next one. Back to the outer edge. And that puts us right where we want to be to jump right up into this next portion. So from the outside corner, we're just going to repeat the same thing that we did over on the left-hand side. And it doesn't matter which order that you do it in. To the outside, I guess the top. Shift my ruler and go to this next dot. Back down. And just keep doing the same thing until we have this corner filled. I have one more to go. Back to the bottom. And I really like that. What I do notice though is that I feel like this center, go back over here to the center so that you can see what I'm talking about a little bit. I feel like, let me move this camera. Oh, it doesn't matter. I guess the machine's in the way. I feel like this part here is a little bit open. So I think I may actually stitch this angle. Well, no, I think I'm actually just going to come in. So I want to go back where I just was. I am going to go ahead and do the one that I thought was just too close, so that it's all kind of still the same. So I'm going to come to this bottom point. That's going to make it nice and narrow, these points. Oh, and this time, yeah, it will. I think it's going to make it a really nice, narrow little come back down. Yeah, that's much better. And then again to this outer corner. Okay, that's the end of the stitching. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this real quick. I'm going to take the chalk markings off so we can see it better, and I will be right back. Okay, so I got rid of most of the chalk, and I'm hoping you can see this in the video. I know it's hard to. So what we end up with was we have this cool design. You know, it's fairly open. It's not too terribly tight. Now, I guess if you wanted it to be tighter, you certainly could very easily come back through maybe some of these little angled things, and maybe you want to fill a couple or do some kind of free motion, I don't know, curls or swirls or design in some of these. But I think it would be really cool because this forms half of a star. And if we look up here in these corners, where the next one, you know, repeat of the stencil is going to be right here, you're going to have that same half kind of star coming from this side of your border as well. You know, I think maybe if I was going to fill something, I might choose to fill these two because it would kind of make this bar stand out that's in there. You know, but again, I think the options with if you add something or what you add, I mean, they're kind of endless. You could, you know, do anything in there. The other option you would have with this is you don't have to use a straight roller. You could have done this same point to point bouncing back and forth between the two with a curved roller, and it would have changed the look up altogether. So I hope you guys like that design, and I will see you next time. Bye.